doing? Hi!
Hi!
Welcome to Intertwined Stitches. This is episode 14, and today is November 22nd.
Yeah.
It's a Friday here. I think we're going to start recording on Fridays from now on. It might
just
be
seems to work better with our schedules.
So hello!
Hi!
And welcome to this rainy Friday here in Connecticut.
I'm Stephanie, also known as XCO Mom on Ravelry.
I'm Lakshmi, and I'm also knitterbynature at Instagram and Ravelry.
And here comes the kitties. So that's fun. Yeah. Welcome to new viewers, if there's any new viewers, and welcome back to all our old friends. Thanks for coming and watching us again. We always forget to say welcome and thank you, but we really do appreciate it.
We do.
I looked in the group yesterday and we're up to 90 members, and I was like, woohoo! So
That's
exciting.
Wonderful, it is. It's great to get to know all of you, and
yes. So thank you for taking time out of your
day
to come and watch us.
I know. That's what cats do, right?
Oh, she's rotten. She comes up and sits in my lap and acts like she's all sweet and innocent, and is like, I'll come sit on you and be nice. And she lays there for about 2 minutes before she attacks my yard, and I'm like, okay, you're done.
I was knitting next to my cat the other day, and she was just being a sweetheart, not even paying attention. So
nice. That's how Gus is. He was literally sitting on my lap last night, and I was like, the cable, I was knitting a washcloth, and the cable had like the big bend because it was so, I don't know why I was using such a big cable needle, but it kept smacking him in the face, and he didn't care. He was just like, whatever, abuse me, I will still be your friend.
Anyway, today I decided to wear my Kaluna cardigan that I knit out of Knit Picks City Tweed Heavyweight. I was just thinking about it because they're having a sale right now on the Heavyweight.
I know, but it's already...
But the big sale's starting on Monday.
Yeah.
So
I went to put some of that, the one that they had for $2 in my cart, and it was already gone.
Oh.
Already gone. Like, man.
Yep. It's going to go fast.
So, a friend of mine just gave me a gift card to Knit Picks, and I'm like, I think my cart's changed about 12 times. She gave it to me Tuesday, I believe. And yeah, I've changed my cart about a dozen times.
I do that a lot. Like, I'll fill up my cart, then I'll like add things, remove things before I, place my order. Think about it,
Right. I'm not. I usually have gone through the webpage so many times that I'm like, oh, next time I have money, I'm gonna get this, this, and this. And so whenever I get a gift card from my mom or whatever, then I'm like, do, click, come to my house. But this time I was waiting because they were tempting with the wholesale thing, and I was like, should I wait? And then you said you might get in on it, so I'm like, well, then we can have free shipping, so I guess I'll wait. So this Monday sale better be good. Because I have been very patient. So we'll see. How was your week?
It was good. I didn't do much except for a little bit of sewing and some knitting. But I had a total sewing fail. I've been doing some project bags from that free Craftsy class.
I thought you were going to say that crappy class.
Well, the class is pretty good. It's my sewing skills are kind of crappy. But it's really my cutting skills, because I made this cute bag, right? It's cute. I didn't do the drawstrings yet because I messed up on one of them. But the problem with it is the inside is smaller than the outside. So.
And not like the normal smaller, like significantly smaller.
Yes, because I ended up cutting it wrong. But
still cute.
Yeah. It was going to be a gift, but it's not going to be anymore.
Is that the one you were going to give to me?
Yes.
She sent me a text message the other day. She's like, I made you a bag. And I was like, oh, that's so nice. She's like, but you can't have it. Oh. And
I did make another bag after that. I had to, like, you know how you have a knitting fail and you have to make something, a finished object right away to, like...
To redeem yourself?
Yeah, redeem yourself. Well, I made this little tote at the other Craftsy class, and it's nice.
It's very cute. It's very Hawaiian tropical to me.
Yeah, and it holds bigger projects like my hemlock ring blanket that I'm working on.
Which is gorgeous. I saw your picture on Instagram and I was
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah, before we talk about it, though, we should talk about finished objects. Cause
Wait.
Objects.
I gotta tell you about my week.
Oh, okay.
So it's just a shenanigans story. I just told Lakshmi already, but I'm going to tell you guys because it's kind of humorous. We babysat a friend's child who is the same age as my eldest, so he's 6. We babysat him all weekend, and so we decided to take all the kids to the Children's Museum because we have a membership, and we figured it was a fun way for them to go and play and cause a ruckus and get out as many toys as they wanted. We didn't have to worry about cleaning it up or care about the noise. So we had to go to the gas station. We went to BJ's, and you know how they brag about having the extra long cords that go on either side of the car so you don't have to wait in line extra long or whatever. So my husband was pumping the gas, and I was cleaning out garbage from my car because with 3 boys, it tends to accumulate a lot of garbage, and ugh. So I was getting rid of everything, and I thought that I had put something in the trunk. And our van is a hatchback, like a normal van, so my husband has a tendency to, when he's pumping gas, put it on auto, you know, click that thing down so it automatically fills, which I loathe. It drives me crazy. But he was standing next to it, and I thought he had a hold of it because I looked and it looked like he was holding on to it. So I lifted up our hatchback and he was not holding on to it, and it popped out of the gas tank. It was spraying all over the place. It got all over my husband's face, all over all of our clothes. It was such a nightmare. He was so mad at me, but like inside, like fuming rage, and I was like, oh God, I'm so sorry. And then I'm like trying to make it not my fault, like, well, you should have had a hold of it. Or no,
Good
it
thing
was
you
totally
didn't get
my fault.
his
Yeah,
eyes,
in his eyes, right. And he's so we had to come back home with all 4 kids in the car, come back home, run in, change our clothes. My husband had to like shower down because it was in his hair. Oh, it was a nightmare. And I'm like, I cannot believe I did that. He kept saying I was trying to kill him all weekend, and that's what I was trying.
Set him on fire.
Yeah. So that was interesting. I also decided that it's a very good thing that we stopped at 3 kids. I mean, the boys were all well behaved. The friend's kid was very well behaved. But that dynamic of having 4 boys under the age of 7, I was exhausted. Monday, he was here until Sunday, probably about 5 o'clock Sunday evening. And so the boys went to bed, and I was so exhausted, I just went to sleep at like 8 o'clock. It was just, and he was so tired when his parents got here to get him. He's like, I just want to go home and go to sleep. And they're like, no, you have to eat dinner. He's like, I don't want to, I just want to sleep. And you know, for a 6-year-old boy to say that, that's a big deal. But it was a fun weekend. There was a lot of...
He's the only child?
Yeah. No, he has a sister, but she doesn't live with them. She lives with their mom. But she comes down like every other weekend or whatnot.
Right. He's not used to living with a family.
Especially younger ones, because his sister's, I think she's 12 or 13. So, you know, teenage girls are pretty laid back and don't really have a lot to do with their little brother. Yeah. And these guys, Carson especially, was very like, play with me, play with me, play with me. And he's like, ah. So that was fun.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is a knitting show, so I suppose we should talk about knitting. You have a finished object. You want to do yours first?
Sure. I'll talk about my felted clogs that I made. Last week I had one partially knitted. I just had to knit the outer sole. And so I completed that, and then I whipped up the other one in a day.
Nice.
So it was really quick. And I felted them in the morning in just one, you know, cycle through the washing machine, and they were felted to size. I used a measuring tape. First I measured my husband's foot, and then when I went down to the washer I took out the measuring tape to see how far I'd felted, because I didn't want to overfelt them.
Right. You don't want them to shrink up too much.
And he was driving me crazy because he wouldn't try them on right away. He's like, they're wet and my feet are dirty, and I was like, okay. But he friendly tried them on, and they do fit, and I think they're wonderful, and I love them, and I think really I'm going to make a lot of them for gifts and for myself and my my family.
And he was okay with the purple?
Yeah, he picked the purple. He liked the purple, and I really love this color purple because it's really dark, and this is the color blackberry. It's Wool of the Andes tweed.
I think that's a very appropriate
Wool
name.
of the Andes.
Just Wool of the Andes,
Yes.
right? I think it's a very appropriate name color because it is kind of like a blacky purple.
Yes. I love it.
Very nice.
Great color.
I want to knit that pattern.
You have some finished objects, right?
do. I have a couple. I posted to my family on Facebook. I'm like, what do you guys want for Christmas? Because I don't want to make something that you're not going to appreciate. So, actually, everyone who responded said washcloths and dishcloths. So I'm like, woo, I'm on the right track. So I finished one of those for a dishcloth for my aunt. It's just a basic garter with some stockinette in it.
Love the color of that one.
And it's out of, well, hello, Sushi. Hello, Sushi. It's just some peaches and cream or lilies and cream or whatever that stuff's called. Cotton that I had in my stash. So there's another one done. And then I finished, seriously, Sushi, I think that's all everyone can see is you. I finished my hat for my son, who won't wear it.
Aww.
But my eldest son keeps wearing it, so I don't know what happened with the decreases. I guess, I don't know.
They look fine.
Weird. When it's on, it's fine, but when it's off, it's all pucker. I don't know. So there's that, and that was Knit Picks something, and it was bulky. The color was Anchors Away. I really like how it turned out. He's not terribly fond of it, but my eldest is, so.
Great. At least somebody will wear it.
Yeah. And then I finished a ruffle scarf.
Cute.
I kind of hate it because it took me, it felt like forever. And then the other day I started a different scarf with something else, and I went to get the needles out, and this grabbed hold of the needles and like pulled it out and pulled all the stitches off, and I was like, the scarf of doom is still coming back to haunt me. So this is also going to be a Christmas present. I'm not sure.
And you use like big needles for that, or?
I think it's a 10.
Okay.
Yeah, it's that fancy netty
I've never knit
yarn.
with that stuff before, so it's a mystery to me how it all comes together.
It's not my favorite. It's easy and it looks nice, and everyone seems to enjoy
pretty colors for this time of year because like you want something
starting
bright.
to get
It's getting
gray.
gray.
Yeah. So there's that. Fun times. Fun times. So what are you working on?
Right now I'm working on my hemlock ring blanket, which was adapted by Jared Flood, and out of an old vintage doily pattern. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so it
That's
started
Jared
out.
Flood. He's so clever.
Yeah, so with this center flower pattern, and then it goes into this feather and fan. And yesterday I changed the needle over from like a 40-inch to a 60-inch cable.
Nice.
So when I had it on 2 needles, I was able to spread it out, and I took a picture of it, so I was able to see how wide it's open it's getting and how big it's getting.
It's very pretty.
So, loving this project. It's very easy. Like I said before, there's only 1 lace row out of every 5.
Nice.
So a lot of it is just knit, knit, knit.
But there's a lot of needles or stitches on that needle.
There is. I think there was 540 or something at this point.
Wowie.
Yeah. So
how big is it supposed to get? Do you know the
I'm not really sure. I just started my 5th skein of yarn, and
out of how many?
I got 10 for this project. It didn't say that it needed 10,
right?
But I figured 10 was a good amount, and if I was going to make it that big, then I had the yarn for it. But the chart doesn't. Yeah, the chart doesn't go that far. So we'll see how far the chart takes me, and there's a line on the chart for a smaller size, or you can keep going for a bigger size. Oh. So, and that's pretty. Not the only thing I put on a bigger needle. I was able to stretch out my Citron Grand.
Hey.
So I've been working on this a little bit, and I'm finally on the 6th section, which I'm doing the ruching. So I was able to spread it out. And that's a pretty good size for, what the normal Citron would be, like 5 repeats long and a ruffled edge. but we're going to see how far I get with this ball of yarn, which is the Pixtrol. There.
Nice. And you got one more?
And yes, I have. I couldn't resist casting on my Knit Picks diadem, which is baby alpaca in silk. So I started the Traveling Woman. Now I'm not sure how crazy I am about the color. It's just kind of like a dusty mauve. And I thought it would be more variegated. And I was just like, with these gray days, like it's not very inspiring, this color to me. Like I was thinking I should have grabbed like turquoise or something. Settle down. I'd be more excited about that.
Sorry, we have a cat battle going on over here. I'm a little fearful for bloodshed of my own.
So it's very easy right now, just, you know, doing increases at the edges in the center until I get to a certain amount of stitches, and then start the lace pattern. And I'm still debating whether I'm going to get beads because I don't know exactly where to put them. I would have to, you know, figure it out, like swatching and stuff. So I'm not sure I'm going to do beads on it yet.
Does the pattern call for beads? Or
No.
is that just something you wanted to add for a little pizzazz?
I was thinking about it. But I didn't order them last time, so.
Gotcha. As, you know how we do the title page on our videos and it like does that thing? I always call it the twinkle and glisten. So you wanted those beads for a little twinkle and glisten.
Yes.
I am right now working on my sockhead hat, but I have not worked on it all week. This sitting down right now is the first I've knit on it. So that hasn't really changed a whole lot. But again, that's Kirby Werby in the Halloween Michael Meyer colorway. And I don't have a whole lot to show, but there's that.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I cut the ribbing down by 2 inches because 4 inches of ribbing just, no.
Oh, it's kind of striping too.
Yep. It's like swirly striping. I like it. I worked on my trillion this week. That is not my trillion. I worked on my trillion this week and I switched his bag because it's bigger now. So there's that. I should put one of those little markers in to show where it was last week and where it is now.
I was thinking about that too. I haven't done that with any of my stuff. It's getting longer. It's almost like wearable size.
I know. And I've got a whole lot of yarn left, so that's how the colors are all working out together. And I've still got this much yarn left. It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
So there's that. I suppose that's what happens when you knit it on size.
Do you think you'll use
needles.
the whole ball for that?
I don't know. It depends. I might just knit until I'm tired of knitting it, but I really enjoy it because it's the garter, and I really like when I'm sitting there watching TV doing the garter stitch.
Yeah.
But it has that little tiny little bit of lace on the bottom, on the edge here that it's really enjoying to me. I'm really enjoying it. Unenjoyable is the word I was thinking of. Or not thinking of. But yeah, it's getting there. I'm loving it. Anyways, and then I cast on 2 new projects. I am going to knit, I cast on the Wind Chief pattern, whatever, the hat for my husband. It's just some ribbing right now, but I am using, it was in my stash. I had got it from Joann's on clearance. It was 97 cents for this skein yarn. It is KarenNaturally.com country, I believe. It's like 75% acrylic, 25% wool, which is good because my husband is very sensitive to wool. He always thinks it's scratchy. And so with that amount of acrylic content, it's not scratchy to him, but it still has that little bit of wool to be warm enough. Because he is, I called him a hothead the other day, but he's always hot whenever he's outside in the snow. So hopefully it'll be a perfect kind of hat. And I really like the red color. And I couldn't keep it a secret from him. I had to show him, like, look! Because somebody gifted the pattern to me. Thank you, Penny. So it was a very exciting day because we had PTA this week, and PTA weeks are just miserable for me. Monday, I had 25 different emails back and forth from people about the whole everything. and it's just very stressful. And her thing came on PTA day on Wednesday morning, and I was just so happy. I was like, yes, thank you. It was so nice. So that's that. And that is that a Stephen West pattern? I
Yes.
think so. Mm-hmm. And it's called Winds Chief, something like that.
I think there's an S in there.
And it has a cowl too, so it's like a buy one get one sort of pattern. And then on Instagram, everyone in the world.
The yarn's getting all wet.
Which one of them's down there? Was it Sushi?
Just chewing on.
Bad cats. Everyone on Instagram has been showing off these beautiful socks, and they're all knit on DPNs. And I'm like, oh, they're all so pretty. I want to knit some on DPNs. So I cast on some socks.
You have some nice DPNs too.
Yeah, these are my carbons. I love them a lot. And I told my husband, instead of people giving me gift cards to knit picks for Christmas, if he could please direct them towards webs so that I can get some carbons. And I really, really want to try the new Novas that are cubics, the cubic Novas. I really, really want to try those.
I want to get the new Caspian needles from Knit Picks.
I do, but I don't, because I told my husband, like, look how pretty they are. He's like, you're just going to snap them. You always snap them. You're just going to snap them. And I'm like, darn you for being right, but I really want them. They're so pretty. But, so I cast on, it's a Wendy Johnson pattern. I think it's called Toe-Up Socks with a Difference. So, something like that. And this is out of some Deep Stash. This was one of the first sock yarns I ever purchased. This was from our LYS. It's Barocco Socks Metallic.
Bright and sparkly.
I want to say the colorway is called Fruit Cocktail, which seems very fitting. And it's very sparkly. So there's that. It's just a happy skein of yarn.
Yeah, happy socks.
I've got a toe because I haven't been knitting on it a whole lot, but I really like it. I'm knitting on my washcloths and whatnot for family, and I'm like, this is sitting right next to me on the chest beside my knitting spot, my seat in the house. It's the end of the couch, and that whole corner on my end of the couch, I have my chest here, the end of the couch is here, and I have a little end table right like in the corner, and it's just covered with yarn and knitting bags and all that. But this is sitting right next to me, like, don't you want to knit on me?
Don't you take a break and take a couple rows?
I know you want to. So there was that. So those are my works in progress. And you might be wondering, didn't you have a sweater on the needles? I've been working on it, not a whole lot. Sushi, seriously? I'm sorry. She's being rotten right now. And we tried shutting her out, but she keeps opening the door because she's some sort of magical cat who is skilled in awfulness. But, yeah, I've been working on my sweaters. I even worked on my Good Ale a lot this week, but you can't tell, so I just figured I would keep it down upstairs. Go play in the baby bed. So, there's that.
Yeah, and I haven't been working on my rug because I snapped that needle, and I just got the new needle, so pretty soon they'll be back on the needles, and it's good when I can concentrate on just a few projects at a time. Like, I was able to, like, you know, make a clog in one day and get a lot of progress on my blanket and the citron, because that's a lot of stitches on the citron.
It really is. I started spinning. I have 2 pounds of Ashland Bay Merino in the grape colorway, and so I've got 2 or 3 skeins already done of that, and I put that back on my wheel.
Okay,
so, yeah.
good.
I'm hoping to get a skein done, you know, every once in a while, so that eventually I'm knitting that sweater.
I haven't been spinning at all. I've got no spinning mojo lately.
You got all the knitting mojo, though.
Yes.
That's
and sewing. I think sewing is taking up my spinning time.
Yeah. I keep looking at my sewing machine and that pigeon fabric that I bought, and I'm like, I want to sew a bag so bad, but I've got all this knitting I have to do.
Well, my knitting called me to do some sewing because I needed a project bag.
Yeah, there you go.
Project bags.
Do you have any enabling this week? Did you feed the stash?
Not this week, no.
I have my order that I got last week. Big old bag of yarn. And that's missing a skein because I already used it to make a washcloth. But my mom I made a deal with my mom that she was going to buy me the Harry Potter Knits magazine, which she didn't buy it for me, but I still told her I would make her there's a pair of fingerless gloves in there, the Owl Parliament, I think they're called, and it's got a bunch of owls on the front, and then on the palms it has the different spells that the kids use in the movies, like Expelliarmus and Expecto Patronum, and it's on the palm of the hands, and I'm so excited to make them. So I ordered the yarn for that. I ordered Winter Night, which is a really pretty blue, and Cobblestone Heather, which is a nice heathery gray. And so those will be her owl mitts. And then I ordered myself some purple. I'm not sure what I'm nope, that's not it. I ordered myself some purple in the same, and that's the Stroll Sport. I ordered eggplant for myself. Not sure what that's going to be yet. Maybe some fingerless gloves for myself. And then I ordered a whole bunch of cotton yarns. I ordered the Shine Worsted, which is a cotton modal, and I really like how it works up. That's what my Vine washcloth was last week. And this is Serenade, which I keep wanting to call it Serenity from the show, but it's not Serenity. So there's that one, and then I got some, I'll show you the Shine first. And then this one's Sailor, which is a really pretty blue, dark blue. And then I got some Comfy, which feels nice still. It doesn't feel like the Peaches and Cream yarn. It's not that hard on your hands, but it's not as nice feeling as the Shine. But this is the Comfy. It's 75% Pima cotton and 25% acrylic. And this is the pomegranate color, and it's really pretty. And it's I would say this would be a good washcloth yarn. Whereas the Peaches and Cream to me is a good dishcloth yarn. Or if you really wanted to scrub your face, I guess would be good.
I've made sweaters out of Comfy too.
Really?
Yes.
And then I got it in the Dandelion colorway because I have a thing for dandelions. I'm not usually a yellow person at all, but I love it. The name got me, the Dandelion, so there's that. And then, because I am doing all these mini swaps, I just sent out my little robot ornament, and they received it the other day, and it turned out so cute. I loved him to pieces.
I saw a picture with a little green scarf on him.
Yeah. So I'm doing, I think I have 2 more minis that I need to make. So I bought myself some sparkly bonbons. And they're just so cute. This is the Celebrate is what, whoa, this pack is called. So they're all sparkly, and I'm very excited to bust into those. Because I have 2 that I need to send out. One is to Hazel. Hi, Hazel. And Hazel and I are actually going to meet up whenever we go to Ohio for Christmas.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, so we're going to have lunch together. I think she said Angie's going to come too, and then she's going to show me some of the yarn stores up there in Cleveland.
That's always great.
Woohoo! I'm very excited.
Visit new yarn stores.
Yes. I think the yarn store she said we were going to is called Eau de Bleu or something like that. And I'm like, I'm so excited. And then I have, I'm not sure, oh, her name's Liz. I'm sending to Liz, who's also in my amigurumi group. So I'm very excited. It's all so fun.
Yeah. I gotta get cracking on Christmas knitting pretty soon. I think that's what my next knit picks order is gonna be, is yarn for like the clogs I'm gonna make. And I was thinking this blanket would be a good Christmas gift.
Yeah, it would.
It's not too much knitting if it was like in a red.
Your mom would really like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of moms and knitting for them, my mom sent me a pattern for this amigurumi dragon that she wants me to make for. It's crochet, not knit. And she sent it to me, and she's like, would you make this for me? And I'm like, of course, but this means I'm going to have to make 2 because my eldest son is also obsessed with dragons. So she even mailed me the money to get some yarn to make it. So she's very excited about it. So I was looking to get some of the Brava Sport, so that, because it's really, the pattern looks really big. And so I figure with the Sport it won't be too terribly big, because I don't want to be making something this big. So I've got that coming up too that I want to make for her.
That sounds cool.
It looked really neat. He's kind of like a Chinese kind of dragon, where he's got like frills and whatnot, clawed feet. He's pretty cool. So I'm like, sure, I'll make him. He looks fun. Yeah. We are very close to our 100 member mark. And whenever we hit 100 members, we're going to have a prize giveaway.
Yes. I have already a yarn picked out to give away, and we might give away a pattern.
Yeah. Definitely a pattern. Maybe another skein of yarn. We'll see how good the sales are on Monday. I also wanted to say a huge thank you again to everyone who's been chatting and encouraging me on in our Get Fit Stitches thread. I almost called it a board, but it's not a board, it's a thread. I really appreciate it. You guys are excellent at keeping me motivated and kind of shaming me. Like, maybe you should be going to the gym a little more, Stephanie. Because this week I have been like, I don't want to go to the gym.
I know,
it's so
such a
far.
far drive.
It is. To get there is what, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
20 minutes to a half an hour, and then the return trip. I'm like, but then everyone's like, I'm so proud of you for doing it. And I'm like, I gotta do it.
You gotta be proud of yourself too for getting the motivation to do it.
And this week I've been doing a lot at home, a lot of ab stuff, and a lot of, for lack of a better term, calisthenics.
Yeah, you can do a lot of stuff, like find a lot of stuff on the internet just to do. So
my mom's doing this challenge. My mom teaches a Taekwondo school, and I'm using my TPNs like chopsticks. She also teaches a cardio fit kickboxing class, and so they're doing this 24-day ab challenge. And so she wanted me to do it with them, so I'm doing it, and it's hilarious. Carson was doing it with me, who's my 4-year-old. He was doing it with me yesterday morning, and I'm doing the crunches, and he's like, we can do this, Mom. 1, 2, and then we got done with them, and then he's like, and now what? And what's next? And what's next? And so we went through the whole thing, and then we did half of something else, and then we did more, and he was just such a cute little trooper right there, right next to me, yeah. So I told Jeff that since it's been so hard to get to Torrington to go to the gym, he's been looking on Craigslist for a treadmill for me so that we can park it down here, and I have no excuse then.
Right.
No excuses.
Yeah, I'd love to get a treadmill too.
And they're always on Craigslist. I would ideally like to get one of the ones that folds up because our house is pretty small, and it would be nice to be able to take it out, but any one of them.
You don't want to put it away though.
No.
Keep it out.
Exactly. So he's on the hunt for that, and he is like a fanatic about Craigslist. He's got it on his iPad, and he's constantly looking. Cool. So he's on the. One soon. Yeah. There was one this morning. He's like, it's really good when it doesn't fold up, but I think we can get it. And I'm like, so contact him. He's like, oh, it's gone.
Aww.
So that'll be fun. Be exciting. So thank you again to everyone for talking about their struggles and making me really feel like I'm not alone in this and people are helping. So cheering me on. I feel that.
Yeah.
It's very nice. So I really appreciate that.
We appreciate everyone in the group and every one of our viewers. So
every time I look on YouTube and it's like, you've had so many views, I'm like, oh, people really do watch us.
So exciting. Yeah. So until next week, have a great week, and
happy knitting.
Happy knitting.